Friday, February 12th, 2 p.m. We're in conference room 325, and we are here to hear the HB 185 first, the judiciary budget. First we have Tom Mick, judiciary.
Okay, good afternoon, Chair Nakashima. This is Tom Mick from the Judiciary. Anyways, good afternoon, committee members as well. The Judiciary respectfully stands on its written testimony in support.
Okay. Are there any items in the budget that you'd like to highlight for the committee?
Mr. Mick, I was wondering, is there any items in the judiciary budget you'd like to highlight for the committee?
No, as you can see, we have it's basically just capital improvement project items that we do have the prioritized listing attached, I think on maybe the third or fourth page of our testimony. I think I do want to point out that trying to get the alarm system and elevator upgrades for the First Circuit, this is about our 10th year trying to do it, and it's becoming increasingly, I don't want to say difficult, but we continue to have more and more problems with the elevators, and it is a safety issue. But this project needs to have all the fire alarms have to be upgraded first before we can do the elevators. So it's a kind of a priority situation, and if we could get the money, we could start on this. The problem is, the longer we push down this path, the longer it's going to take. It will be into 40, 45 years with these elevators if we keep pushing it down. So it's very important. Right now, they have to cannibalize parts to repair anything. These are old style elevators. So that's really our most important CIP item. Another important item is just the $3 million for lump sum, miscellaneous lump sum repairs. That's important just so that we can react when we have situations and problems that occur, unexpectedly. So it's very important to have. So I'd like to just highlight those two. There are other important ones there, but those are certainly two of the most important.
Okay. Members, are there any questions? Representative Ward?
John, following up on that highlighting question, what is the pre-COVID budget that you had for this, and now what your budget is now? Is it the same, lower, higher, what?
I'm not sure I understand the question exactly.
40,621 CIP, how does that compare to previous years?
Well, last year, CIP was a little bit less, but obviously it was a supplemental year. I would say this compares, if you go back to the previous biennium, it probably compares with it, because we've had this elevator quote unquote option or request on there for many years. So the price keeps going up, but checking now. Gary, do you see our wait a minute. Okay. let's see, last year, no, all we got, well, of course, last year, all we got was Hawaiian. That was $76 million for a new courthouse.
Hmm.
So,
Okay, just curious. Thank you. Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Okay. Thank you, members. Any other questions?
Hmm.
All right. The members, I'll note that we have several other testimonies in support and a couple in opposition. However, none of them are appearing before us today. Okay. If there's nothing else for the judiciary, then you move on to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Is the Office of Hawaiian Affairs online?
Good afternoon, Chair. So we were told that we wouldn't be up until 3, but I'm calling in everyone to let them know that we're up now.
Yeah, the judiciary went much quicker than we expected.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call everyone and hopefully we can get started very shortly.
Okay, we take a 10-minute recess while OHA assembles. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
10 minutes. Hey, good afternoon. It's Friday, February 12th, 2 p.m. or actually 2:15 now. We're here to discuss the House Bill 204 related to the budget of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. And we have OHA CEO Sylvia Hussey.
Do you want us to go ahead and get started, Chair?
Yes, you can go ahead and get started. Sorry, we thought judiciary would take up a little more of our time, but they did not.
No problem. On a Friday afternoon, we're okay to go early. Gongei Fatchoi, Happy New Year to Chair Nakashima, Vice Chair Matayoshi, and members of the House Judiciary and Hawaiian Affairs Committee. My name is Sylvia Hussey. I'm the CEO of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. And I want to just let the members know we have, or will be having shortly on Board Chair Hulu Lindsay, Trustee Hulu Lindsay, as well as the Chair of the Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment Committee, Trustee Kale Akaka. Joining from our administration will be our Chief Operating Officer, Casey Brown, our Chief Financial Officer, Ramona Hink, our Chief Advocate, Sterling Wong, as well as our Public Policy Manager, Wayne Tanaka, and our Financial Analyst, Grace Chen, here supporting. Anything that you would like us to do before we stand on our testimony?
Are there any highlights in the budget that you'd like to go over?
Sure. We will stand on our testimony submitted. We do want to say that it is flat. It is the same budget amount that we have asked in the past. We are aware of the situation in the state, and so we see this ask as a start of a conversation of an equitable reduction by all state departments and agencies. We also want to point out that 51% of the total ask is related to provisos, education provisos, legal provisos, as well as social service provisos, that trust funds are matched as well and then distributed to our beneficiaries and constituencies. And so we just point out that of the 3 million, about 51% relates to proviso money that we match as well. It's well over a decade of matching that goes to our community programs. But other than that, we leave that up to the committee with any questions, wonderings that you'd like us to ask, you'd like to ask us.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Members, are there any questions? Representative Ward.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, COO. Speaking of the budget and from the various sources, what is the total budget and what is now the state of Hawaii percentage of that?
So our total core budgets run about 43 million, and of that is 3 million of general funds. Our total budget, which includes our non-core or what we describe as our commercial, sort of sides of the house, that's about 53 million dollars. But again, the general funds portion of all of that is the 3 million that is being that's in the bill here.
So your revenue generation is your best funder.
Well, the composition of our revenues, public land trust dollars, 15.1 million. Our Native Hawaiian trust funds based on investment policy, that runs about 17 or so million, 3 million in general funds, and then assorted special funds, advertising revenue, things like that. And then we have federal funds that we administer of programs, federal fund programs.
How big are the federal funds?
Federal funds, I don't have that offhand, but we will. It is for the Native Hawaiian Revolving Loan Fund that we have there.
Chairman, ask another question that gets to part of the testimony. It says, while enabling the building of a strong and healthy Hawaiian people and nation, what's the state of the state or the state of the union of the Hawaiian nation, if I may ask?
The state of the state, I am not prepared to answer that other than my understanding, new girl card I'm going to pull here, is that whatever the people, the Lahui decide is that will be the supported by the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. The trustees have not taken a position, and that will need to be a position taken by the trustees. At this point, that has not been brought forward. When it does come forward to the trustees, they will take a position on that. Right now, it is with the beneficiaries or the Lahui, however they choose to move that forward.
Are you talking about the convention that took place and then sort of stalled thereafter, or are you speaking about something other than that Lahui group?
For me right now, I'm just describing the current state in terms of activities. I understand OHA, there are a number of activities toward that. Right now, current state with the current board and new leadership, that position needs to be taken by the trustees.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
In previous conversations that we had, the chair had kind of lamented that there was some hope that OHA and DHHL would be able to work closer together in helping out the beneficiaries. You're working with the Native Hawaiian people, and I was wondering how was your discussion with DHHL, and can we look forward to more collaboration between the two agencies?
Don't see Chair on. She would be obviously a better person to respond, but I can respond that we're always hopeful and always willing, right, to have a conversation. What's always challenging is what does that look like in implementation? So it's one thing to agree on providing, more housing or having strengthening beneficiaries, but the practicalities of implementation are always the challenge. And I think we have always had an agreement in principle. And I'll just say from observation, I've only been at the agency going on 2 years, but we're always wanting to partner with DHHL, Elite Trust, all of the agencies. The challenge is how do we implement those collaborations practically, and to ensure that everyone is solving the problem. We shouldn't be trying to be in each other's lanes and solving, but there's certainly collaboration. The office has made a commitment, debt service. The trustees have $3 million a year in debt service for the DHHL to put in infrastructure to advance more home building. So that's a commitment that the trustees have made long term.
Well, yeah, I guess as chair of the committee, I would like to. I will probably ask to convene a meeting between the two agencies to kind of further discuss that
Sure.
opportunities and possibilities in that
Sure.
collaboration.
Chair is very open to those conversations.
Right.
Chair, I have a question.
Representative Nakamura.
Hi. Hi, Sylvia.
Hi, Representative.
I have a question about the Kaka'ako Makai revenues and plans for development in this area.
So I would like to, where is Sterling, to provide an overview of those plans. Sterling? Sterling on? So currently, while Sterling is getting on, currently just base operations of Kakakamukai, approximately $4.5 million from rents collected right then. Obviously, development or any other kinds of plans would be looked toward more for that. And so operationally, it's there, it's managed. And then we have obviously a number of measures in the legislature this year to seek the conditions so that our revenues can be enhanced. Did it, Sterling, not? Okay, I can share what, so in July of 2019, the board had a series of workshops to bring them up to date on all of the community work that was done, conceptual master plans that were done, all of that work that was done from 2012 to 2014, including a number of scenarios, development configurations, parcels that are encumbered in a longer phase and therefore wasn't really ready to take a look at it. In February of 2020, the trustees were actually at the top of building of Lot E, the AFIS building, to take a look at the entire surrounding and was ready to entertain and listen to some recommendations that had brought forward by administration. Of course, COVID hit and we needed to take care of basics. And so with the new chair being elected in December, as well as the formation of a permitted interaction group just a couple of weeks ago, clearly it is a priority for the board to take a look at all of the strategies, including the condition that currently is there. And so moving that along much quicker given this time.
Chair, I have one more question,
Please continue.
and this is unrelated to that question, but regarding the funding from last year, and where is, how did you leave it with the auditor?
We left it in court. It's still in litigation and we have not received the fiscal year 21 appropriation for $3 million.
And what court is it in?
I don't know the technical court. I can find that out, but it is still in litigation.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Representative Ward.
Well, our second question is related to the chair's question about cooperation between DHHL and OHA. The question specifically being, will you be a shareholder if there is a casino? In other words, position on that one.
Well, I can honestly say they didn't ask us. They didn't ask us to give our opinion. So,
but you guys have explored that, haven't you, Sylvia? In forms?
we have explored economic development. The board in 2019 approved an economic development policy, which provides a process by which to explore what I call pitches and prospects. As you can imagine, OHA gets a number of pitches and prospects as to what to do with our money, to buy this or invest in this and invest in that. And that economic development policy approved by the trustees has a very specific set of due diligence that needs to be done before any kind of investment is done. So whether it's a casino or whatever is pitched has a process to be followed so that the trustees can come to that decision.
Chair, last question. What is your best investment? Or is it the new Kapolei Makana Ali'i shopping center? Or you got better ones than that?
Oh, that's not our investment, right? That's Department of Hawaiian Homelands.
Oh, sorry. Your
So our current investments, right, are commercial properties, Kakakamukai, Nalamakukui, the building that we're in, that's our commercial. And then our legacy land properties surrounding Kukani Loko, as well as Waukele Opuna, and all of our legacy properties. So we consider those part of our endowment and our legacy lands to steward properly.
Thank you very much. CEO,
Sure.
invaluable position. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Members, any other questions? Otherwise, we can call it a day.
Yeah, and a week.
All right, well, Silver, thank you very much for your
Sure.
time this afternoon, and sorry that we got you rushing and then we're going to let you off early.
No complaints here, to be done at 2:30 on a Friday afternoon.
All right, you can start the weekend.
Yep.
Okay,
Happy New Year.
without further business before the committee will adjourn, and we will take these up on Wednesday. Thank you.